Doot doot. Virtual reality. We've been trying to get this shit right for years. It's such a pinnacle of sci-fi level achievements that Star Trek has been blowing our minds with the idea of a holodeck since whenever Star Trek started. Somebody's getting mad at me about that, but whatever. Nintendo's 1995 craptastrophy, the Virtual Boy, was, until pretty recently, probably the closest thing we'd ever actually been to VR that was known about in mainstream. And it was a pretty major commercial failure for, you know, a number of reasons. Then Oculus comes around in 2015 and shows off its almost HD immersive goodness, and then Valve and HTC come out with the Vive and its room scale VR just a little while later. Now, a few months or years if you're picky about your semantics, after those massive world-changing announcements, and we've got all kinds of VR headsets. You got crap for phones, crap made out of cardboard. Hell, I bet if you wanted virtual reality for your naughty bits, you could, you know what, no, I'm not gonna Google that for footage, so I'm just gonna stop right there. The point is, VR has come out in a pretty big way. Late to the train for talking about that, I know, whatever. VR is still expensive and kinda left to the most involved of gaming hobbyists, but there's no denying that it's the next 18 bazillion big things that are gonna happen in the entertainment world. But what about outside of entertainment, or even just outside of gaming specifically? Guess what, boys and girls, it's already being used in a crazy variety of ways. When I originally had the idea for this video a millennia ago, I just heard about a VR project in development and going through clinical testing to help reduce symptoms of lazy eye. And while I was researching for this video, I checked up on the project, which is now known as Vivid Vision for those of you who are curious, and it's actually been hugely successful, and there are over 70 clinics that provide this therapy for lazy eye with proven results. Let that just sink in a little bit, all right? Not only that, but VR has already been used in a number of ways that I was planning on listing as potential uses for the tech. Imagine if I'd written about this when I first had the idea, like a millennia ago. I'd probably be claimed as a goddamn psychic and then promptly burned at the stake for being a goddamn psychic. So I'm just gonna rattle some really cool things off, and I want you guys to kind of think about that a little bit. Psychiatrists in the University of Louisville are already using VR in behavior therapy. They're treating patients with the kind of immersion therapy for social anxieties and phobias, things like public speaking or fear of heights. There have also been studies done elsewhere around the uses of VR as a treatment for phantom limb symptoms, which is just, it's crazy. They basically put people who suffer from phantom limb into this VR area where they can close a hand if they feel like they need to close it. It's really interesting. Ford, the freaking car company, uses VR for a couple of things. There's one thing that they're calling an immersion lab. They basically use it to inspect vehicle designs in a virtual space, evaluating design and engineering decisions in a virtual environment from the customer's perspective. Audi uses similar tech, but they use it to allow their customers to view cars instead of just their engineers. VR is being used for education too, not only for things like virtual field trips from Google Expeditions, but for medical training and job training as well. Russian Railways uses VR to train its techs on train and track repair methods and procedures. The logistical benefits of training techs and whatever kind of blue collar or any employees that you could imagine are so huge, it just makes sense to develop VR software to train them. Just imagine, all right, you can practice problem solving and solution getting for any of your most common problems at a low cost with no risk. The cost of developing the VR software is there, yeah, but the amount of money that you save on resources alone pays for itself as new employees train in totally safe environments on whatever problems you can imagine. There's so much that VR can be used for outside of blasting zombies in the face, and it's truly incredible to me that people have seen these uses and actually done things with them. Call me a dirty tech hippie, but if virtual reality continues down this path and keeps working towards low costs and wide availability, then I think that it'll really change the world even more and for the better. What do you think of VR? Have any hot ideas for things that it could be used for outside of video games? Let me know down in the comments. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to do the YouTube stuff and share this thing around. I'll see you next time. Bye!